every VC firm and venture capital partner I speak with talks about investing in founders first. The idea can and will be tweaked and evolve along the way as market conditions change and as the environment changes, but the founder is someone irreplaceable. What are the one or two most important qualities that you look for in a founder? What's the quality that that founder needs to have for you to say, yeah, I'm going to bet on this person?
So there's a few things that we pay attention to, one of which is probably the most important, but there's, we think just sort of raw horsepower, the amount of twists and turns these companies take, you have to have a very, very nimble brain and be an incredible problem solver, and horsepower just matters a lot. Once you get to scale and you're like clearly a train that's on the tracks, raw execution capabilities become way more important than like if you really can kind of crack the code on super tough intellectual problems. But when you're weaving through the early days, that horsepower matters a lot. Grit, and it's not a play. You've got to have been knocked down several times in your life and gotten back up and dusted yourself off, or at least have traits that demonstrate a likelihood to be good at that. But then there's this thing that I think a lot of founders don't like to admit is as important as it is, but it's salesmanship and storytelling. Mm-hmm. And I like to talk about the three unnatural sales that every early stage founder has to make. And if you're not incredibly good at painting a picture of what you're building and why it's important and why it's going to be successful, you will fail at all three of these essential sales. So number one is you've got to sell me or one of my peers on parting with capital, precious capital. We're only going to do so many deals a year. And I know every time I wire money to a new investment, I know that there's a 25 to 50% chance that we're going to lose all of our money. And so when I know systematically that we're going to lose that frequently, you got to be really good at convincing me to get the checkbook out. And the better you are, the more success you'll have over time raising money, the less time you'll have to spend raising money, mm-hmm. and the less dilution you'll take over time. Number two is back to that recruiting bit, selling talent. Because everybody you recruit into, if there's two co-founders and you're trying to hire your first salesperson, your first product person, whatever it is, that any good salesperson that you want to bring into your company at that stage has a good job or access to a lot of good jobs. And as a salesperson is going to be able to make a lot of money wherever they are if they're really good. And so if you're going to talk that person into leaving and coming to join you, unproven, super risky, likely to fail, when that salesperson calls her mom or dad and says, I'm doing this new thing, mom and dad are like, that's crazy. You've got a great job. Why are you leaving? So that's a hugely difficult and important sell that makes the difference between building a team of B players and building a team of A players. And then the last one, if you're in a B2B company, is selling customers. Mm-hmm. And particularly in an enterprise sales environment, I try to drill into founders' heads again and again that you need to realize you're not selling just a product to a business with a problem. You're selling a solution to a human being with a job.